Welcome back to Top 5 Auto Repairs. If you're hearing noise coming from the rear end, do you have a bad wheel bearing or a bad differential? It is important to know the difference between a bad wheel bearing and a bad differential. A bad wheel bearing can set you back a few $100s, and a bad differential can definitely set you back a few $1,000s. When you have a bad wheel bearing, the noise is consistent when driving. You may notice rumbling noise, metallic noise, growling noise, and so on. When you have a bad differential, the noise may not be consistent. For example, you may notice humming noise, howling noise, or roaring noise when going over a certain speed. For example, when you're going over 45 miles per hour, you may notice the noise start to occur. You may notice the noise, especially when accelerating, and the noise may disappear when decelerating. Another difference is when you have a bad wheel bearing and the bearings start to fall apart, it will start to rock like this. So when you are driving, you may notice the wheel start to wobble. For some hub bearing, the wheel speed sensor may be mounted on the hub bearing, and when the hub bearing start to fail, you may also notice the ABS light turning on. And when the ABS light turns on, most likely you're going to get some sort of wheel speed sensor codes. The quickest way to check for a bad wheel bearing is to jack up the vehicle and grab the tire by 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock and rock it side to side, then grab it by 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock and rock it in and out. If you're able to rock the tire or wheel in and out, then you know the wheel bearing is bad. If you suspect that you have a bad differential, take the truck or vehicle with a differential for a test drive. Make sure to lower the front windows and back windows. Next, make sure you drive on a smooth road. That way you don't have any false test. When you're taking a vehicle for a test drive, listen for a change in pitch. For example, when you're barely accelerating, you may hear a howling noise. It may start out like this, woo, 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 woo. And when you start to accelerate more and you start to pick up speed, the noise may gradually increase and you may hear something like this, woo, 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 woo. That's how you know you have a bad differential. In addition, a bad differential can make a grinding noise, humming noise, and also a roaring noise as well. And these noises are going to change as speed increases. If you suspect that you have a bad differential, the first thing to check for is for leaks. If it's leaking gear oil or differential fluid, then you know that might be contributing to the issue. If you have no leaks, maybe it's time to inspect the gear oil or differential fluid for wear. Drain the gear oil or differential fluid right at the drain plug, and in some differential you might have to remove the differential cover to drain the fluid or gear oil. Once you drain the gear oil or differential fluid, you want to check the fluid for metal particles. If you see a lot of metal particles inside the fluid, then you know your differential is most likely worn out. In most cases, you might have to continue diagnosing by removing the differential cover and using a dial indicator and checking the backlash on the differential. I hope you found this video useful. As always, thank you for watching and subscribe to Top 5 Auto Repairs.